I said, I'm going to tell you, don't ever put your hands on my daughter again or we're going to have a problem. He said, Ma, I'm sorry and I love you. I love your daughter. I'll never do it again. 4 days later, he killed my baby. I can't believe he did this to the mother of his kids.
Harry Lindsay looked Sharita's mother in the eye. He swore he'd changed. He promised he would never hurt her daughter again, and he was going to marry her. But promises don't stop bullets. In just 4 short days, after he was released from jail for attempting to kill her, that promise became a death sentence. And a loving mother, Sharita Christwell, just 29 years old, was gunned down by Harry Lindsay, the very man who swore to love and protect her. In her own home, as their children screamed from the next room. Have you ever felt stuck? Like someone you once trusted became a threat you couldn't escape? Or have you ever trusted a promise only to have it shatter into a million pieces? This isn't just a story about a life taken. It's about a warning ignored, about a system that had one chance to save her and sent her straight back into the arms of her killer. A failure that should have never happened. She did everything right, reported him, trusted the system. But the system let her down, and now her kids are left without a mother or a father. How could this happen? How could someone kill a person they claim to love? Why does our justice system keep failing the women who need protection most? And what chilling, unseen forces allowed a dangerous man to walk free, destined to commit the most heinous crime against the mother of his kids? Let's find out. Grab a cup of coffee and settle in for this captivating true crime story. And I'd love to know, where are you watching this video from? Drop it in the comments. Don't hesitate to join the conversation too, because your thoughts and inputs are a vital part of this story.
Yeah!
This tragic story unfolded in Landover, Prince George's County, Maryland, just outside Washington, D.C., along the busy stretch that links the capital to Baltimore, less than 40 miles away. Sharita D. Christwell, born on June 6, 1996, was just 29 years old. She was a devoted mother to her 2 young daughters, Harmony and Layla Lindsay, who now face a world without her love and guidance. Her family remembers her as a loving mother, a cherished sister, a funny, loyal friend, and an amazing aunt. Sharita wasn't just living, she was building. She was a stylish person who loved to dress up and live life to the fullest. She even had her own brand as a makeup artist, Makeup by Heather. Her clients included local celebrities who sought her out for her precise technique and warm personality. She had dreams, ambitions, a future she was actively creating for herself and her girls. But a significant part of that life included Harry Lindsay. For approximately 10 years, Sharita and Harry shared a complex history. They were parents to those 2 beautiful girls, yet their connection was deeply troubled. Harry had a history of abusing her, a constant, painful pattern within their relationship. Even though they were no longer a couple at the time of her passing, his presence remained a shadow. The bond of their shared children and their long past created a dangerous entanglement. And as Sharita tried to break free, the danger around her intensified, heading towards an explosive encounter that would change everything. And in those final weeks, she was someone gathering the courage to start over. She had met someone new, someone who treated her with respect, someone who didn't make her afraid. But Harry Lindsay had already decided her future, and it wasn't one Sharita would live to see.
Once Harry Dominic Lindsay came home from trying to strangle my daughter, he said, Ma, I want to talk to you about something. I said, okay, I'm going to listen. He said, I love your daughter. And I said, if you love my daughter, why would you put your hands on my daughter? I said, that was the wrong thing to do. He said, what do I need to do? I said, you both need to go to therapy and try to fix this. He said, I want to marry your daughter. I said, if you want to marry my daughter, why didn't you marry my daughter before you had them 2 beautiful girls that you all have?
Harry? Not so much. Family says he was controlling, jealous, hot-tempered, the kind of man who couldn't handle not being in control. Still, Sharita stayed. For her girls, until it got too much. That's when she started pulling away, stopped responding to his messages, started focusing on her business again, even started seeing someone new. And that's when Harry lost it. He started showing up uninvited, calling non-stop, tracking her, watching her. The quiet rhythm of Sharita's life shattered on June 16, 2025. It wasn't some random act. This was Harry Lindsay. That afternoon, Harry wrapped his hands around her throat and squeezed until her vision began to fade, until her lungs burned for air, until she believed she might die. Strangulation isn't just another form of abuse, it's a rehearsal for murder. Following this violence, Lindsay was arrested, charged with first and second-degree assault. Sharita finally felt safe, at least for now. The danger he posed was clear. Prosecutors, including County Executive Aisha Braveboy, made an explicit plea. They fought hard for him to be held without bond. Braveboy's public statements left no room for doubt about the extreme threat Lindsay represented. She clearly articulated the grave risk associated with strangulation. Anyone who strangles you intends to kill you. Make no mistake, when someone puts their hands around your neck, a ligature around your neck, cuts off your airflow, they intend to kill you, not just harm you, but kill you. This detail, strangulation, is a well-known critical predictor. It signals a heightened potential for future deadly violence in domestic cases. The warning signs were not subtle. They were screamed from the rooftops by the very people meant to protect. The system was on high alert. The threat was identified. But what came next wasn't protection. It was a decision that would send Sharita Christwell, unknowingly, directly into her final moments. Despite those compelling arguments, despite her injuries, despite her statement, despite prosecutors pushing hard to keep him behind bars, despite the clear and present danger, something truly baffling happened. Just 1 week after his arrest, Harry Lindsay was set free. He was released from jail. He reportedly wore an ankle monitor, a device meant to track his movements, a supposed layer of protection. But what good is a leash when the predator's intent remains unchecked? She called for help. She followed the law. But the system gave him another chance, and he used it to finish what he started. As Sharita tried to distance herself from him, Harry's control intensified. After their breakup, he sent her a video message, a chilling digital threat. It showed her car outside another man's home. Walt and Lindsay threatened to kill them both. You might think, with such blatant threats, with a prior choking incident, that the system would ensure her safety. But what happens when the very mechanism meant to protect a victim becomes a silent witness to their escalating terror? Sharita's mother, Grace McCotter, desperate to protect her child, confronted Lindsay directly. He looked her in the eye. He apologized. He swore he would never hurt her daughter again.
I said, don't sit on this phone and tell me that you love my daughter and you don't mean it. I said, I'm going to tell you, don't ever put your hands on my daughter again or we're going to have a problem. He said, Ma, I'm sorry and I love you. I love your daughter. I'll never do it again.
A mother's hope clinging to a promise. A promise believed by a mother just trying to keep her daughter safe. But that promise lasted only 4 short days. 4 days until Harry Lindsay broke it in the most brutal, final way imaginable. That hope and heartfelt promises dissolved into grief. He promised he wouldn't hurt her. He promised her mother. He promised their children. By July 5th, 2025, those promises lay as empty as the shell casings scattered around Sharita's body. Some men don't keep promises. Some men make them only to lower your guard. And sometimes the most dangerous moment comes right after "I'm sorry."
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up.
The short, fragile peace Sharita's mother had hoped for evaporated with brutal speed. Just 4 days after Harry Lindsay's release, the final, horrifying confrontation arrived. It was Saturday, July 5th, 2025. Around 3:35 p.m., Sharita was at home. Her daughters were there too. Harry showed up. Again, he wasn't invited. He wasn't supposed to be there. But that didn't stop him. Neighbors would later say they heard yelling, doors slamming, raised voices. Then, gunshots. police officers responded to an urgent call for a shooting inside an apartment in the 700 block of Stretford Way in Landover, Maryland. Inside, officers discovered Sharita Christwell, 29, from Bladensburg. She was suffering from gunshot wounds. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators say Harry pulled out a firearm and shot Christwell during an argument. He stood over her and unloaded bullets into her body. Harry fled the scene immediately after the shooting. But detectives moved fast. Crucial assistance came from surveillance video provided by the Metro Transit Police Department, giving them vital information about Harry's escape route. The Prince George's County Police Department's fugitive unit worked relentlessly. Early Sunday morning, in Capitol Heights, they located and arrested Harry Lindsay. He was taken into custody within hours of the shooting. Harry was captured, the immediate threat contained. But the question remained, for Sharita's loved ones, what now? Their lives, and the lives of Sharita's 2 young daughters, were forever changed by this preventable act. Their grief was just beginning, and they had a powerful message to share with the world.
The family of Sharita Christwell says she was a successful makeup artist who really enjoyed life. Now they want people to hear her story and know that there's help out there for those who need it.
We won't see her anymore. Not anymore.
Emotions are high as this new reality sinks in.
I can't believe he did this to the mother of his kids.
Family is mourning their loss. 29-year-old Sharita Christwell was shot and killed Saturday.
She was a beautiful person, a loving mother.
She was a mother of 2.
They cry every day asking for their mom. But we gonna work through this and it's gonna get better.
Police say this man, 32-year-old Harry Lindsay, shot and killed her during an argument inside an apartment in Landover.
She did try to get away, but it was not in time. It was too late.
Police found Lindsay in less than 24 hours.
Metro Transit Police, who provided critical surveillance video to us, helped us locate the suspect.
Just days before the murder, police say Lindsay assaulted and strangled Christwell. He was arrested by Bladensburg police, but released to be monitored at home.
I can't tell you why that happened, but what I can tell you is that it should not have.
Christwell's mother says she talked to Lindsay on the phone.
He said, "Ma, I'm sorry and I love you. I love your daughter. I'll never do it again." 4 days later, he killed my baby.
About a week later, investigators say he shot and killed Christwell.
In the wake of Sharita Christwell's death, Harry Lindsay was formally charged with 1st and 2nd degree murder. He's held without bond at the Department of Corrections, a stark difference from his release just weeks before. But for Sharita's family, the legal process offered little comfort, only immense pain and a fervent demand for accountability. Her mother, Jerice McCotter, articulated a grief no parent should ever know. Her anguish was raw, honest. "This feeling, this pain that I have, it will never go away," she shared. "And my grandkids, they cry every day." Sharita's 2 young daughters, Harmony and Layla, now face a life without their mother's love or presence. Sharita's sister, Kim Christwell, spoke out as well. Her words a powerful plea to others enduring dangerous relationships. Domestic violence is serious. Never let anyone put their hands on you, no matter if it's a man or woman. Don't give them chances. She revealed a heartbreaking personal connection. "I lost my sister-in-law to the same situation." This family's pain became a collective call. Jerice McCotter's warning was direct. When he tell you he's going to kill you, you need to get away. He's not going to say it just to say it. He's saying it because he mean it. The aunt of Sharita added, "They brought her out in the bag. I couldn't see her. I still can't believe that it's her." The family's public statements and their GoFundMe campaign to cover funeral services and support Sharita's girls transformed a private nightmare into a public campaign. They want to prevent another family from experiencing this same heartbreak. Prince George's County Executive Aisha Braveboy herself lamented that Lindsay's early release should not have happened given the high-risk assessment. Sharita's story is a profound lesson in listening to warnings. If you or someone you know needs help, please don't wait. Resources are available. Your safety matters. The tears still fall. The questions linger. But from this deep pain, a stark truth emerges. Sharita Christwell's life, tragically cut short, now serves as an urgent plea, a final, desperate warning. What does her story and the system's role in it truly tell us about protecting the vulnerable? The death of Sharita Christwell is a profound human loss, a life ended prematurely by the father of her children, Harry Lindsay. It was an act marked by clear, escalating warning signs that, tragically, were not enough to save her. Now, 2 little girls are growing up without the one person who loved them more than anything. This story is not just about Sharita. It's about every woman who's ever tried to leave and paid for it with her life. The most critical and heartbreaking failure point in this story remains Lindsay's release after the June 16th strangulation incident. Despite strong warnings from prosecutors who explicitly identified strangulation as intent to kill, the justice system's decision to release him directly preceded the fatal shooting. This highlights an urgent need for judicial systems to reevaluate how high-risk domestic cases are handled, particularly when prior acts of strangulation are involved. We extend our prayers and heartfelt condolences to the family of Sharita Christwell and everyone affected by this tragedy. May you get the justice you deserve. Sharita Christwell's life, tragically cut short, now stands as a powerful plea. If her story hit you, like and share it, not for views, but because someone out there is in the same situation.